Welcome to ABX Reviews. This episode of Genesis pulls no punches, diving deep into the emotional wreckage left by a devastating secret. As the truth about Gabriel Gigaba's past affair and the existence of his late son, Phila, comes to light, we see the foundations of a family and a community begin to crack under the weight of grief, betrayal, and hypocrisy. Here are 10 different scenes from the episode. Scene 1, A Mother's Accusation. Morona confronts her mother in a highly charged emotional exchange. She is furious that her mother involved Felicia Gigaba in the funeral arrangements for Phila, feeling that it robbed her of the chance to mourn her son properly and disrespected her as his mother. She accuses her mother of caring more about appearances and the Gigaba family than her own daughter and grandson. Character analysis. In this scene, Morona is raw with grief and a sense of betrayal. She is not just mourning her son, but also the erasure of her role as his mother during the burial process. Betrayal. The core of the conflict is Morona's feeling that her own mother betrayed her by going to Felicia and allowing the Gigaba family to take control of her son's funeral, making her feel powerless in her own loss. How do the characters impact the story? This confrontation sets the stage for the entire episode, establishing the deep personal pain that Gabriel's secret has caused beyond his immediate family. It shows the ripple effects of his actions. Scene 2, A Daughter's Concern. Nobahal, the daughter of Gabriel and Felicia, notices her father's packed clothes and the intense tension between her parents. She pleads with both of them to explain what is happening, sensing that the family is falling apart but being kept in the dark. Character motivation. Nobahal is motivated by a desire for stability and truth. She loves her parents and is desperately trying to understand the conflict that is tearing her home apart. My reaction to the scene. This scene is heartbreaking as it shows the innocent family members who are collateral damage in a crisis caused by the adults. Nobahal's confusion and worry are palpable. How are the characters developing? Nobahal is transitioning from a child unaware of her parents' complexities to a young woman forced to confront a painful reality about her father and the fragility of her family unit. Scene 3, A Wife's Cold Shoulder. Felicia is in her room, clearly upset, when Gabriel enters with a plate of food. He tries to apologize and smooth things over, suggesting they can focus on healing and return to normal for the sake of their kids and business. Felicia completely rejects his advances, telling him to leave her alone. Betrayal. Felicia's coldness is a direct result of the ultimate betrayal she has experienced from her husband. His words ring hollow to her because the trust between them is shattered. What deeper issues are being explored? This scene explores the aftermath of marital betrayal and the impossibility of simply going back to normal after a profound breach of trust. It's about dignity in the face of hurt. Is the story strong, confusing, predictable, surprising, etc.? The story is strong here because it avoids a simple reconciliation. Felicia's justified anger adds depth and realism, preventing the narrative from taking an easy way out. Scene 4, The Bishop's Confrontation. Gabriel calls the bishop for help, but the bishop turns on him. He expresses intense moral outrage, calling Gabriel a devil for grooming Morona, lying for years, and not even attending his own son's funeral. He feels used and deceived himself. Character analysis. The bishop is revealed to be a morally conflicted man. While he has clearly been complicit for money, this scene shows his conscience is not completely dead, and he is capable of righteous anger. Greed. This scene implies a previous arrangement where the bishop accepted money from Gabriel to keep the secret, showing how greed compromised his moral standing. What deeper issues are being explored? This confrontation delves into themes of hypocrisy, spiritual corruption, and the conflict between moral duty and financial dependency. Scene 5, A Business Proposition. Two street musicians are confronted by a local man who claims ownership of their performance spot. He intimidates them by referencing a previous individual who faced difficulties for not paying, then demands 100 Rand per week from them to stay. Greed. The local man's actions are driven by greed and a desire to exploit others for easy money, establishing a theme of power and corruption that mirrors the main plot. How do the characters impact the story? While secondary, this scene creates a parallel world where similar dynamics of power, intimidation, and exploitation play out, reinforcing the show's central themes on a street level. Lessons learned. The scene illustrates that exploitative behavior exists at all levels of society, from the home to the street corner. Scene 6. A grandmother's plea. Morona's mother comes to her home, pleading with her to not stay alone in her grief. She asks Morona to come home so the family can grieve together, showing her own concern and love despite their earlier argument. Character motivation. The mother is motivated by a genuine, if flawed, love for her daughter. She wants to provide support and believes family unity is the way through pain. How are the characters developing? We see the mother not as a villain, but as a complex figure who made a decision she thought was right and is now trying to mend the relationship. What deeper issues are being explored? This scene explores familial love, the different ways people handle grief, and the challenges of communication within a family under stress. Scene 7. A mother's advice. Felicia talks to her daughter, Nobohol, about the situation with Morona. She explains that Fila's death has turned Morona's life upside down and that they must make her feel welcome. She urges Nobohol to be kind and work on having a clean heart. Lessons learned. Felicia, despite her own pain, is trying to teach her daughter about empathy and compassion for someone who is suffering, even if that person is connected to their family's crisis. Character analysis. This moment shows Felicia's strength and her priority as a mother. She is setting aside her personal turmoil to guide her child through a difficult time. What deeper issues are being explored? It touches on themes of maturity, putting others' needs before your own conflicts, and the importance of kindness. Scene 8. Gabriel's transactional response. During the confrontation with the bishop, Gabriel shifts from being on the defensive to reminding the bishop that he pays him a lot of money monthly to fix such things. He tells the bishop his job is to pray and clean up messes, not to judge him. Betrayal. Gabriel betrays the very nature of a spiritual relationship, turning it into a cold, financial transaction. He shows no remorse, only a desire to control the situation. Greed. While the bishop's greed was passive, Gabriel's is active and manipulative. He uses his wealth as a tool to silence morality and avoid accountability. My reaction to the scene. This is a revealing moment that cements Gabriel's character as someone who believes power and money can absolve him of any responsibility for his actions. Scene 9. The secret is out. Gabriel reveals to the bishop that his wife, Felicia, also knows the whole truth. This new information changes the dynamic immediately, forcing the bishop to realize the situation is spiraling and his help is more urgently needed. Character motivation. Gabriel's motivation here is purely self-preservation. He shares this information to panic the bishop into action, showing his manipulative nature. Is the story strong, confusing, predictable, surprising, etc.? This is a surprising turn that raises the stakes. The secret is no longer containable, promising more fallout and drama to come. What do I think will happen next? This moment suggests that the story will now focus on the public unraveling of Gabriel's life as the truth spreads beyond the inner circle. Scene 10. A father's empty reassurance. Gabriel tries to comfort a worried Nobohol, dismissing the situation as a normal couple's argument that will blow over. He tells her that no marriage is perfect and they will get through it as always, despite the clear evidence that this is different. Character analysis. Gabriel is shown to be in denial about the severity of his actions. He is trying to maintain a facade of normalcy for his daughter, but it comes across as dishonest and weak. What deeper issues are being explored? This scene explores the theme of truth versus illusion, and the damage done when a parent cannot be honest with their child. What do I think will happen next? Gabriel's failure to be truthful with Nobohol will likely lead to a greater crisis of trust when she inevitably learns the full story from another source.